When it comes to Luigi's Mansion, we ended up receiving 3 unique games for the franchise. In fact, just recently Nintendo announced that they would be bringing a remake of the second game to the Switch. Naturally, this had fans excited.
Wow.
But only time will tell how well this remake sells. But in 2018, something very similar happened. Around this time, the last Luigi's Mansion game, providing you're not counting the arcade machine, was Luigi's Mansion 2, also known as Dark Moon. It had been 5 years at that point without a new official game for the series. And then Nintendo goes and pulls this.
What?
I was personally ecstatic, as this was up there in my list of favorite games, and the fact that Nintendo acknowledged that game by releasing it again blew me away. Which, unless you're me, chances are this may have been your reaction.
Has reappeared in the Nintendo 3DS remake.
Just make a new Luigi's Mansion!
This is the worst!
So, what was new about this remake? The trailer showed new graphics compared to the GameCube, a new layout for the gallery, and even a boss rush mode. The only real downside? It was on the 3DS. In the trailer, the announcer stated that fans of Dark Moon can now explore the original mansion. Sure, that would make sense for people who had never played the game, but the 3DS was 7 years old, and it was looking like there wasn't going to be much life left in it for the foreseeable future. A Switch release probably would have been more enticing, as it was newer and could pump out better screen resolutions, in addition to having the similar luxury of being portable. But this one has 3D. To see how it went, let's skip right over to this game's launch. Reviews for the game were coming in, and they seemed to be pretty positive. It was basically the same game, with some new added elements and updated graphics, and even a bit more attention to detail. You can play the game as it was originally intended, or you can move the flashlight and poltergust around like you would with Dark Moon. There are also motion controls that you can opt to use, but it can get annoying pretty fast. This remake also does something that was promised for the GameCube version, but scrapped in development. There's multiplayer. I am so lonely. Though, the caveats with multiplayer for this game is that it can only be done locally, so there's not much hope of being able to play through the game online with a friend. On top of this, the local multiplayer tends to struggle at times, meaning the frame rate goes down. A lot. Considering you can only play this game with at most 2 people, they didn't use a different colored Luigi or any other well-known character. Instead, they created a new character for this purpose, and he's a green blob of slime.
Oh my god, it's moving! No, no!
This is why I don't eat Jell-O. There are a few other differences, like how there are in-game achievements you can clear, alongside even higher endgame ranks than before, amiibo support to make your life easier, and boss and portrait rush modes, so you can aim to beat ghosts as fast as you possibly can. Upon beating the game, like the original, you unlock the Hidden Mansion mode. Though similar to the European GameCube version, the ghosts are more powerful, with them and even Mario's hidden items rearranged. But that's where the new stuff ends. The controls can be kinda wonky if you're used to the GameCube version, making ghost capturing harder than before. Despite that, it does play pretty similar to its ancestor, with some tricks still possible on this remake version.
2, I got 2, I got 2. I got 3!
Except for that, that's new. So how well did this remake sell, and holy shit, it's not even a contest. The Japanese version of the game didn't even manage to sell 100,000 copies. Guess I'm one of the few. Granted, it could be worse. It could have sold like Chibi Robo Zip last year, but there were remakes on the 3DS before, and in fact, the same company that made this version of Luigi's Mansion remade the Nintendo 64 Zelda games, which sold pretty well, with Ocarina of Time just a little over 1 million units shy of what the original version sold. So why did Luigi's Mansion on 3DS sell abysmally from the game it was based off of? It could have been in part due to the previously mentioned poor frame rate during multiplayer, but mostly how it was released towards the end of the 3DS's life cycle. When you had new stuff to look forward to, it just wouldn't paint a good picture for the fate of the original mansion. Selling games towards the end of a system's life cycle will generally produce fewer and fewer sales. As with the state of technology, everyone is always looking to the next biggest thing. But if done right, nostalgia can sell pretty well. So again, we'll have to see how much people really want this new release of Dark Moon. And maybe as time goes on, we could get a simultaneous release of all 3 Luigi's Mansion games on the same console. For the near future, that may be a bit of a long shot. Until that day may come, all we can do for now is enjoy what we have and...
Alright, I'm already bored of this. Maybe you should go outside and touch grass. God, I can't believe how lonely I am. My f***ing stick! No! The pad came off! Well, that sucks.